How you doing?
Hi.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Very good. Just quickly before we start, if anyone's got any questions for me or Kelsey, just put them in the comments section, and we'll try and get through them best we can. I reckon we'll have quite a few filling in, so we'll try and get through them at the end.
Yeah,
But yeah, how's your day been?
not too bad. I it's just noon here now, so I had a little bit of a morning session, and I just ate my breakfast slash
Yeah,
lunch.
yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, good. Saturdays, yeah, training session. I normally do a lot of like barbell cycling on Saturdays, so
Nice.
that was
The
that was
fun
good.
stuff.
Yeah, that was good to get that done. And we've just had here that elite athletes can train at their premises.
Okay.
So we had that notice come in a couple of days ago. So that's pretty cool that I can now get in the gym and not worry about kind of anyone barging in on me or anything like that.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's pretty handy. But
that's
yeah,
awesome.
it's been pretty crazy times, isn't it?
Crazy.
Have you found the lockdown situation and kind of training with motivation?
Yeah, I mean, Boston has been it's been rough here. We've been obviously, I mean, it's been rough everywhere, but lockdown, I'm lucky that I have him. Uh, so I'm not
Yeah.
totally alone, but I do live
Well,
alone. So
yeah.
this is Oliver.
Yeah.
Um, it's been definitely interesting trying to um, I don't know, navigate all of that. Um, obviously now it's the mindset of is a little bit different for you and I. Everything's
Yeah.
kind of changed a little bit for us.
Yeah.
Um, before it was knowing that potentially there were still the games that it was like, okay, I still want to put in the work to make sure that um, I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's been a little bit of a shift.
Yeah. Very same news.
Yeah. How's your at-home stuff been going?
Yeah, not too bad. So basically got a lot of kit from my gym and brought it home as soon as we got locked down. So
Yeah.
I could have barbells, rower bike erg. So I could get a lot of sessions in. I just kind of missed the gymnastic element.
Yeah.
But I knew I could kind of get that back pretty quick once I can get into a gym.
It
Uh,
looks like you had enough space to like put all that stuff places, which is really
oh,
nice.
not really. My kitchen is full of pretty much every sort of kit you can. And drag it outside when we need to use it and bring it back in the kitchen. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that's
so funny.
crammed with kit. But yeah, my motivation was pretty all right when we got in lockdown. Because obviously, when you've got a goal that you've worked for, towards for
Yeah.
so, I think it was pretty tough to kind of get demotivated. So yeah, my training was pretty good. Found a really good routine, and obviously we got the announcement first of all that there was going to be no spectators. And I don't know
hmm
how you felt about that because obviously you've been to the games. Is it twice, three times?
I've been to the games 3 times on a team.
And how did it feel to you qualifying as an individual compared to being as a team? Was it kind of, oh, this is going to be
Um,
here, or was it like a massive difference for you?
it was honestly like qualifying as an individual has been one of my goals for like since started seriously
Yeah,
CrossFitting. And then I really fell in love with the team competition.
yeah,
And then when I went to the Filthy 150, and that was the first individual competition that I've done since regionals in 2017.
yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
it
watching,
was it was an awesome change,
yeah,
and um, that kind of like lit the fire under me um, to try to
yeah.
go as an individual. Yeah,
And then how was the feeling compared to winning as an individual compared to kind of winning the spot on a team?
it's definitely different. I mean, you're just relying on yourself, and I mean, you're just focused. Number one is you, and if you don't execute, you're just letting yourself down. Whereas, like, or your coach as well, and whatever. But with the team stuff, it's like you have 3 other people,
Yeah,
or the first year I went, it was the team of 6. So it's like you have all these people relying on you. Um,
yeah,
I mean, I played team sports growing up, so it was kind of like an easy shift going to the team side of CrossFit, and I love the team aspect. But it's a different beast, the individual side, like
Yeah.
different mental battle, which is really, I mean, it's testing me to be a better athlete and all of that. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I
You were at
love it.
the French Throwdown, weren't you, last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the first team event I've really done.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was kind of blown away by how well teams work together. And
Yeah.
we massively underestimated like the team aspect
Yeah.
of competing. Because we were four good individual athletes put together,
Right.
and we thought, okay, yeah, we'll do all right. This will be all right. We're all fairly fit. We're all good. So let's give it a crack. And then yeah, then we got to the worm, and then we were just getting destroyed. Like the like all the top
Love
teams
hate relationship.
were just unbelievable. And I think that was the kind of first realization where I thought, if you want to be a good team, you've got to train together,
Got to practice.
yeah, every single day, like all year, because it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. It's the practice under the worm. That was like the biggest thing is like if you're individual, if you like put a team together like you said you did, you guys will be able to figure out like the synchro chest to bar and synchro stuff because you guys are athletes, but like it's a different beast when you have to be that in sync with the
Yeah,
worm.
and I remember then it was super hot, wasn't it? Like the hottest day in like French history or something
Yeah.
ridiculous. And I just remember being on that floor and it wasn't going right. No one could pick the worm up, and we were just melting, and we were like, "This is horrendous." I don't think we practiced together once as a team going into that
Wow.
competition. And yeah, it was a massive wake up call that was.
That's
But yeah, but how you feeling about all the whole situation, the games and everything?
yeah. I mean, I can't when it I mean, it's been like what a week. I guess we've known now for a week. Um, I understand, like I get it, and it's obviously like everyone needs to be safe and like the thing like on the one side I completely understand why they're going about it the way they are and everything like that. I can't pretend that it wasn't like, oh, like a shot to the gut, like getting that email. Like it was released on Instagram and someone sent it to me. And then like less than 2 hours later, I got the email that was like, we're taking your invite away. And it's
Yeah.
like,
And that was because how did your situation pan out? Because you
yeah. So I got fifth at strength and depth.
yeah
And because I didn't win the sanctional, um, the the winner of the sanctional was Laura Horvath, but she qualified through the open. So then it
yeah
would go to the next one. The
uh,
so first, second, and third, I think, have all qualified through the open, even with the national champs being taken out.
right
Um, but the fourth place girl did not qualify through the open when the national champs were pulled.
right
So she got the invite from strength and depth.
uh, okay yeah obviously I was 26th, and I think we worked out, well, a lot of my team around me, the people who were probably going to decline the spots and go team.
Yeah.
Uh, and there's a guy who got done for drugs, so he was out, and I think I'd end up at 21, so I'll be 21st. And I was like, oh man, that is gutting. But yeah, I got an email the other day basically saying it basically said you're very close to the line, so keep training as normal because things might
Oh
change.
wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think in one way it's good because there's still like a little bit of hope, but then another part of me kind of just wants to know yes or no.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So I can just kind of just get on with training for next season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I think it's a tricky one. Like part of me is glad it's going ahead, so you can showcase some people's fitness that they've been working on throughout the year. But then a part of me thinks like if you're going to go ahead, all the athletes have to be seen as equal, and they
Right.
all have to go and postpone it or just cancel the whole thing. So it's fair for everyone.
Yeah. I was how like your training you mentioned like get on with training for next season. Like what would change based off of training for games or training for like say the open?
Yeah, so obviously I'm not like an amazing swimmer, so that was a big
Okay.
thing. Gonna work on for the games. and I was getting just lining up some really good swimming coaching. But then obviously all this kicked, so I've not been able to get in the pool for ages.
Yeah.
So my swimming would have been bad if I was at the games because I wouldn't have done any sort of swimming. So that would not have been good. A lot of things, more long distance running, getting on a bike more. I need to work on a few weaknesses like rope climbs. Pistol's always been a factor for me just because I've got a long-going injury on my ankle. But now we've kind of got so long now to kind of prep for the Open.
For the Open, I know.
Yeah, but then that even might not go ahead because gyms might not be open until that time. So I think one of the hardest things is not knowing what to peak for or just have definite reassurance that to go ahead so we can really get our heads down and work towards it.
Right.
So I think I'm just going to go on like a bit of a maintenance phase and then hopefully get some more information close to the Open.
Right.
What about you?
Well, I was saying it to my training partner, I'm really excited to have a coach leading up to the Open. Like I have never had like an official coach for Open prep.
I've never had a coach.
Yeah, like for myself, I've just been following like what my training partner has been doing, and I mean for the last 2 years it's been team oriented, so it's been a little bit different, I guess. But now that it's like I have a coach that I am putting all my trust in, and I am really kind of looking forward to like seeing what that looks like. So I don't really totally know. I do know that I'll continue my running because that's my one of my biggest weaknesses. So I'll be doing that still, especially as it gets warmer here.
Yeah.
But then also things like the body weight gymnastics stuff, like just getting better at strict pressing and pulling and that kind of thing. And then just like going there in workouts, like open style workouts. So I don't know. I'm excited. Like, obviously, like I said, I was sad that they like kind of took that thing. It's like the dangling right in front of you kind of thing. But it also is like, okay, this is now I'm able to like, I mean, again, who knows when they'll pull me, but like able to focus on that. And,
so when did you start working with your coach?
I started working with him officially right after Strength and Depth, so right after I qualified. It's been like 15-ish weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your favorite event at Sid?
Ooh, that's a good question. People might expect me to say the clean and double under one, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I also really enjoyed the finale one with the ski burpee overhead squat. And then it was cool to get on the water and row. Like that was cool.
That was such a cool but weird experience.
Yeah.
Did you manage to practice before the event?
I got lucky enough. I didn't actually get in like a real boat on the water, but I have a friend here in Boston who works with Harvard's rowing team. She's she's an Olympian and she's phenomenal. And she was able to get me in like a mock boat type of thing, almost like we had to warm up, but like a single person. So I had some of that down, like just like the working with your arms and that kind of thing. But when we got practice there, that was the first time I was actually in a boat. So
I was so kind of worried about falling into the water.
That was the scariest part.
Once I got in the boat, I was like,
yeah.
Like the next bit's going to be easier.
Getting off the dock into the boat was the scariest part.
Yeah. That was definitely one of the coolest sort of events I've done because it was just so out there.
Yeah.
But
what was your favorite at Strength and Depth?
I probably would say it'd be very close between the clean and double under one and the standard, the ring muscle up.
Oh, okay.
That was cool. And that was the kind of the first sort of time I've competed at the same heat as Matt Fraser, and it was crazy just to see how fast he moves, and it's insane.
Stupid fit.
Yeah, but Sid's probably obviously because I'm from the UK. It's definitely one of my most favourite competitions.
Yeah.
and yeah, the atmosphere and everything's just amazing there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what's your kind of goals for next season? Obviously, is it just to perform as the best you can in the Open and then hopefully qualify again through the Open?
Yeah. I this past Open, I feel like I was not in a very good place. Like, um, was mentally going through some things, but also like we had games, and then it was like the international online qualifier, and then it was the Open. I just felt like I didn't have any like time to breathe really.
Yeah. What was the time frame between the games and the Open? Was it like 2 months?
Yeah,
Was
when
it?
did the Open start? Was it
Yeah, like early October,
early
second week.
October? Yeah, so like 2 months.
How do you
And there's
find
that.
as an athlete kind of trying to, obviously after the games, you're going to need some time to recover and just have mental space and just time off training, aren't you? You don't really have time for that in that sort of situation.
I felt like I didn't for sure, and it was like at that point I didn't have like an official coach, so
Mm.
like I didn't have someone telling me like, okay, you need to take this time off or like whatever it might be. But
Yeah,
um, yeah, it was like a really hard 2 week or 2 months, and then
I
getting
can
right into the Open, I just wasn't like. I'm also not a very like good Open athlete, which I'm
yeah,
hoping to adjust for this coming season. But um, having said all that, like my goal for this year is definitely to improve in the Open, which I think I'll have no problem doing. Um,
yeah,
but also to qualify out of whatever, qualify somewhere.
yeah, yeah. Well, why would you say you're not an open athlete? I know obviously you're super strong, and there's not
I would say I'm like on the bigger side for the females in the
definitely
CrossFit world.
both in the same boat in that situation.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
definitely one of the heavier athletes.
Yeah. So, but I'm kind of over using that like as like a crutch or an excuse. So like just I'm really excited to kind of train my brain a little bit more to be able to to go dark on workouts that maybe in the past I wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Being a big athlete, do you kind of focus more of your training on the conditioning sort of gymnastic side? Is that how you normally program and run your training?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of well, I'm running literally like 3 times a week.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Um, and working on like on the gymnastics, and I have a feeling that in the next couple of weeks it's going to be just a lot more of the burpees and the those light barbell cycling and that kind of thing. So yeah.
I think with my sort of body weight and shape, I'm like normally about 100 kilos throughout the year, and then
Yeah.
try and get for about 96, 97 when I'm doing like the open or going for the games.
Mm.
Um, and I think because I've known I'm a big athlete, I've just spent majority of my training doing fitness and gymnastics pretty much
Yeah.
for the last sort of 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And as I've got better technique and more mobile, my lifts have just naturally gone up anyway.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
yeah, I think the Open is probably like a really good shot for me. Obviously, I won the UK spot this year, so I think it kind of works in my favour now because that's all I've pretty much done for the last 3 years,
Yeah, that's awesome.
and I've not really done like much sort of strength work or that much lifting really.
Right.
Um, but yeah, it definitely helps being that 3 or 4 kilos lighter.
Yeah.
Such a difference. It's unbelievable. But to get to that sort of weight, I have to be on such a strict diet. It's mega hard.
Do you count and track macros, or like what do you do for your food?
Yeah, so I'm roughly on around 3,800, which is not a lot considering my size and how much I train.
Not a lot at all.
Yeah, I've just that's like the minimum I can still perform well, and it
Hmm.
doesn't affect performance, and my weight doesn't go up. But if I was on kind of 4,500, 5,000, I'd put on good weight, so it'd be like muscle, but I'd just
Yeah.
be too heavy.
Yeah.
So I think that's the kind of like best balance for me, I think. But
Mhm.
again, I've never really had a nutritional coach, never really had like a programming coach.
Right.
I have a business partner and people around me who can help me with technique and things like that, but I've never had a designated coach.
Wow.
Um, and that's one of the things I was going to sort out before lockdown, and then it all just
Mm.
kind of down. But did your coach do your nutrition as well?
Um, no. He just does the CrossFit side, the programming side.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you-
I work for Black Iron Nutrition.
okay.
So that's actually like my full-time job is a nutrition coach,
All
um,
right.
which is, I love it. I love my job. But
Sort my nutrition out.
yeah, I'll help you out. 3,800 calories. I'm almost at 38. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I have two different coaches for those.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
do you have a strict diet kind of off and on around peak times of the year, or is it kind of just the same all the way through?
Yeah, that's a good question. I kind of went through like a little bit of a reverse diet to get my calories back up. And now that I'm kind of maintaining at a higher calorie number, I might eventually think about cutting a little bit when it comes time for the open and like open prep, like a little bit more serious open prep.
Yeah.
But right now, honestly, the amount that I'm running, like I'm burning so many calories that like I need to eat or just I'm sore, I feel like shit, I sleep like shit. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, running sessions really do like take it out of you. Obviously, like on my running session, it always increase my food, but yeah, it just absolutely
it
annihilates.
takes a lot out of me and it's so hard. So
So,
working on that.
was it the only individual comps you've done apart from Sid was Filthy 150 and then regionals in 2017?
Yeah.
Wow. So you didn't take many to get the game spot.
Yeah. I mean, I
Cool.
definitely treated the Filthy 150 as like kind of like a see where you are kind of thing. Like I definitely, I mean, if you base it off of the open, I was not anywhere near like where I would have wanted to be. So I
You finished
definitely,
high in Filthy 150, didn't you?
sorry,
You finished well in 5150.
I think I was eighth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and like I went into Ireland like I'm just gonna have fun and just like do as best I can. And it was cool to be able to like be in that top heat and like go against people like Sarah Sigmund's daughter and Sam Briggs and stuff. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
holy shit, these are ladies that I've looked up to since I started this sport. So
Yeah.
um, that was awesome. And then it kind of like lit that fire under me a little bit. Getting eighth, I was like, okay, awesome, let's do this. And but had you like said that the strength and depth was where I was going to get my ticket, like I would have laughed just because like as soon as they released that 6K, I'm like, come on.
Where,
You're
where,
gonna
where,
give me a 6K and no max lift?
yeah. Where
But
did you place?
sorry,
Where did you place in that in the 6K?
like 23rd.
Oh, really? So you came back super strong.
So I got a 23rd in the run, which is the first event, and then I clawed my way back.
Yeah. I remember that run. I think I did an all right time. I was running with David Schranke for the whole way, and I think it was 22 minutes 50 something, and it was still like 17th. I was like, what? Like,
I PR'd my every single 1K, and
yeah,
I still like, oh shoot.
believe it. I couldn't believe how good of a runner Lucas Hogberg was. He is
I'm pretty sure he lapped me.
unbelievable. He's a big dude, so I was
Big,
just
I know.
yeah, and he was absolutely rapid. But so if this lockdown didn't happen and obviously life was normal, what would have been your plan for this season? Would you have done any more sanctionals as kind of just test to see where you're at, or would you have just gone straight for the games?
Yeah, I planned to do the Mid Atlantic, um, the one in DC that would have happened in April. So that was the one that was kind of like a good middle of the road time anyway between when I qualified and um, the games. So it was going to be kind of like a nice test.
Yeah,
Um, but that was all I was going to do.
yeah.
What about you?
Um, so yeah, I won the Open. Then I signed up to pretty much every sanctional going, just because obviously you never know if you're going to win the Open
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
play out. So I won the Open, and then I was supposed to do Filthy 150, but I was just mentally and physically battered from the Open, like a
Yeah.
lot more than what I thought I'd be. So I don't think I kind of trained properly for like 5 weeks, 6 weeks, because I just didn't want to train.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really weird sort of. I thought I'd be super happy, but I was kind of like just so demotivated after it. It's really odd sort of feeling.
Yeah, it is. Needed
Uh,
the break though.
yeah, exactly. So then I did Dubai just because
Mm.
Dubai was an epic competition,
Was that
and
fun? Did you have so much fun?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was so good. Yeah, it's just such a crazy place, and it's just such a cool setting to have a competition.
Yeah.
So that was really good, even though I didn't really feel fit for Dubai or for Sid, just because I wasn't really into like my groove and my training yet.
Yeah.
But I was just doing it just for enjoyment and just to get some experience and because they're
Yeah.
cool.
Totally.
So I did Sid, and then I was going to do Miami, but I had
Okay.
an injury from Sid, so I decided to pull out from Miami, just have a bit of a holiday.
Nice.
Then I was just going to get lots of good training under my belt, and I was potentially going to do Madrid, which was
Oh,
about half before the games, because then that's the sort of that would be the first sanctional where I'd feel like super fit and I'm ready to kind of give it a good crack.
got it.
But yeah, obviously all that got flipped in its head, so now we're not even going, sadly. But I'm looking forward to next season. I'm hoping the October Open carries on in October,
Me too.
and we're obviously should be able to get a nice solid block of training now.
Yeah.
Because like I said, doing the games and then going to the Open 2 months later, that's a pretty hard task to do, I think.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Just from people recovering and just mentally, it's going to be quite tough for people, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even know if people are going to be able to fly there still. I can't
I
even
know.
see people flying at the minute. So it could just be like all Americans end up being there because they're the only ones that can get there.
Right. Which is silly.
Yeah, it's yeah. What would your kind of how would you kind of handle it if you think how would you think they should have handled it?
I think it should have been postponed.
That's what I would have said. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I guess maybe even canceled, but I
Yeah,
just keep comparing it to the Olympics. Like, they're not holding the Olympics.
yeah. Like the big in sport in
The biggest thing.
the world. Yeah,
And, yeah, I mean, like, thinking about competing at the ranch would have been, like, really cool.
yeah. It would have been super cool from where it first started, and yeah, they would have been
Exactly.
completely.
But I don't know. I just think it's a long shot that, like, people from other countries will be even able to make it. I don't know.
Yeah, uh, yeah. I definitely think probably postponing to the end of the year, and then if that's still going to happen, then just completely
Yeah.
cancel the whole event. But yeah, did you find you were kind of massively demotivated after finding that the announcement, or
No, I actually like my coach did ask like, what do you want to do? Do you want to like take a little break, whatever? And I don't want to take a little break. I mean, like
yeah,
now training will probably shift, but like I it just kind of like lights my fire a little bit with
yeah,
like next season.
yeah, 100%. The kind of I think when this all kind of happened, I kind of mentally prepared myself to it's not going to go ahead
But
how it's
yeah,
either no spectators or postpone, cancel,
right.
whatever. So I kind of already got in that sort of headspace that there's going to be a change. Um, so I was already kind of expecting some sort of change, so it didn't really come too much of a shock.
Yeah.
I think it was more kind of the people who support us. They were more kind of annoyed and
Yeah. I was definitely overwhelmed with how many people like messaged me and reached out. Like that was really awesome and um, like kind of unexpected. It was cool.
yeah,
Sure,
yeah,
you got the same thing.
yeah. So I didn't even I got told because people just messaged me
Yeah,
like when the announcement came out. I didn't even see it on Instagram. And then just getting flooded with messages saying, "Oh
yeah,
my God, I've seen this," like people asking, "Do I still qualify? Do I not?"
right.
Um, and yeah, just the amount of support we've got from everyone is pretty cool to see,
Yeah,
and it kind of just makes you more motivated to kind of get there next year and actually
be
perform
there
on
for
that.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
yeah. I think everyone's asking for your dog, aren't they?
I know that's why I got him up here.
How old is he?
He is 2 years old.
Oh, that's so cute. Um, should we fire through some of these questions? There's loads.
Yeah, sure. I feel like there's a bunch in there. So
There's a lot. I'll find some questions then that apply to us. Let's have a flick through. Advice for a teenager starting out lifting. A teenager. I
it
would
takes a
say,
while.
yeah, it depends how old. But my main advice would be patient. Be patient with your training. Obviously, you're a teenager, so don't get distracted by some of the numbers you see, the likes of myself or Kelsey putting up. Because obviously, we've trained for 6, 8 years plus. So I would say take your time, learn the basics well, and get super mobile because that will definitely play you
Yeah.
older. Um, I'll let you answer this one. Tips for wanting to get into CrossFit.
Ooh. I feel like the same kind of thing. Like, stay patient with it. One of my things about if you like don't have a gym yet is shop around kind of for gyms
Mm.
that you feel comfortable in and that you kind of because I feel like gyms have their own personalities. Like every single box has their own
Yeah,
vibe kind of, and you may not fit in well or you might not like or whatever it might be. So go do some drop-ins or free trials or take a walk around one of the gyms, just kind of feel it out, see what you like.
yeah, I think that's definitely a good advice in trying to do a few drop-ins in every CrossFit box that's around you.
Yeah.
Because some boxes
Coaching
tend,
styles are different and
yeah, coaches are different. Some boxes are more competitive than others.
right.
Some are kind of just beginners. So yeah, I think that's definitely a good shout of dropping into as many boxes as you can before you actually commit to being a member at one.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Were you going to compete at Atlantis Games? That's one of the ones where I signed up to so many comps, I forgot to which ones I signed up to. So,
Which one was it, did they ask?
Atlas Games?
Oh yeah. I registered and signed up for that one too. But then I decided not to do it once I qualified.
Yeah,
So
that's the same for me. I wasn't going to go to that because I already qualified, so that
yeah,
wasn't one. It's one I signed up for, but it wasn't. I wasn't compete at the finals.
me too.
We can both answer this one. If you could choose 3 gym equipment for home, what would it be? So, do you want to go first or me?
Uh I had to think about that. If
All right.
I had unlimited space because an assault runner would not fit in my
Uh,
apartment, but that would definitely be one of my things.
okay, start runner.
A barbell. Do the plates come with the barbell?
Yeah, get a set of 200 kilo plates for you.
Okay, or whatever that is in pounds.
I mean,
Um, yeah, barbell with some plates and maybe a GHD.
GSD. I would go barbell and plates, a salt bike, and a pull-up bar that you could put on
Oh yeah, that's smart.
gymnastics, Kelsey, gymnastics.
I know.
Uh,
What else
did
is
you
good?
build all that muscle? So this one's for me. Did you build a lot of that muscle mass from CrossFit or mainly lifting? I'm naturally just a big dude, so I think pretty much anything I'd do, I'd be quite muscular. Yeah. So considering kind of 80% of my training is normally fitness based, I sort of carry this weight. What does your daily nutrition look like?
Um, for me, I have to eat all the time. I was so tired last night. It was 7 p.m. and I just wanted to go to sleep, but I knew that I needed to take in more calories for the day.
Yeah.
Um, Mine is relatively whole nutrient dense foods. I tend to kind of gear towards that anyway. I really like vegetables and grains and potatoes and stuff. So
Yeah.
sorry, it's really noisy.
So,
What about you?
um, yeah. So I eat pretty much the same throughout the day. It'll be some sort of porridge in the morning. And then I'll go train, and then my lunches will vary from kind of any sort of protein base of salmon, chicken, sort of fish, with carbs normally comes from rice and vegetables. I'll normally have another snack in the day. It might be porridge or another piece of protein and veg. I'll train, and then in the evening, again, some sort of protein source with lots of veg and normally potatoes, really.
Yeah.
And then if I'm not on a strict diet, I'll have a cheat meal once a week. And then if I'm on a strict diet, I won't have any cheat meals.
What's your go-to cheat?
Donuts.
Oh, nice.
What about you?
Oh, I really like chocolate chip pancakes.
Chocolate chip pancake. What, healthy ones or
No,
non-healthy?
like I would want like butter and syrup, like all of it on there.
Never had butter on pancakes.
What?
No. And I've never had bacon with pancakes either. I'm not a fan of that.
I don't eat a lot of bacon, but I do enjoy it with breakfast sometimes.
Yeah. What else we got here? How to get your first handstand press up?
Really focus on strict pressing strength.
Yeah.
Like, don't flip upside down to start.
Yeah, that's one thing that people think is going to be a lot easier than it actually is. So obviously, like, we all take it for granted. We just see a wall, you can just kick up straight away. But for someone who's never done that, it's quite a daunting aspect to just get upside down and get in that position.
Yeah.
So a lot of working on your press up strength, but I think just being comfortable of
Yeah.
being and kicking up against a wall, I think sometimes that can be more challenging than actually the handstand press up itself. And then obviously learning the kip's going to be a big benefactor because they're a lot easier than they are than strict handstand press ups. What else we got in here? This is a good one for you. Tips for counting macros when you like it to be creative with your meals.
When you like to be creative?
It says tips for counting macros when you like to be creative with your meals. I don't really.
Well, that's kind of the beauty of macros in my mind. Like, it gives you the freedom to be able to have a donut and make it fit every once in a while, type of thing.
Yeah.
You're talking to a creature of habit, though. Like I'm like you. Like I'd pick a veggie, like a potato or a rice, and a protein, and I'm good. But I prep or purchase like bulk proteins and starches and that kind of thing so that I can mix and match. But if you want to get creative, you just have to like track each ingredient, I guess, and that will help you figure out the macro split on what you're making.
Yeah.
This is MyFitnessPal. It's super handy.
Do you do if it fits your macros just on certain days, or is that how you plan out your whole week? Do you do that every day?
Yeah, so I'll hit a macro split every single day. I'm definitely like, even with my coaching, like I preach making sure you're including nutrient dense foods.
Yeah.
If it fits your macros is a little bit tough in my eyes, just because people like, you could hit a certain macro split eating like donuts and protein bars and protein shakes, and you're not going to get the micronutrients that you need.
Yeah.
But I'm also a huge advocate of not restricting yourself, because then you'll just go crazy and go off plan.
Yeah.
So
Binge.
like, yeah. So like making it, like there will be a day that I'm like, okay, I really want those chocolate chip pancakes. I'm going to log everything ahead of time and figure out how to make it work. It might mean that my vitamin C and my other micros are down for the day, but that's okay in my eyes. Like, keeps me sane.
Yeah. Solid answer. What's the toughest workout we've ever done? I know mine was. I'd probably choose this one because mentally it was really tough. We did a challenge a couple of weeks ago on a Sunday. It was a 60-minute EMOM, 20 cal row, first minute, 15 burpees, second minute for an hour. Yeah, and that was pretty brutal. I think it wasn't. Yeah, that'd be my hardest one, I reckon. I've been in more pain during open workouts because there's more on the line and
Yeah.
place that you don't normally go to. But Yeah, I'd say that our E1 was pretty tough.
Wow, that sounds miserable.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, same. I feel like I've done a lot of like really painful workouts.
yeah,
One that sticks out in my brain is at the games in 2018. It was a team workout with the worm. You did, I won't remember exactly what it was because I blacked out, but it was worm lunge, thruster, and burpees. A certain amount in, I mean, it was a F ton of all of it. And I just remember like face down in the turf, and it was so hot, and the burpee, it was just, that was one of the hardest workouts I've ever done in my entire life.
yeah. Like I said, when there's so much that's on the line, you
Yeah.
go to never doing training.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was bad.
How to keep motivated when you have to scale the majority of movements? Hmm. That's a good one. I don't think you should ever compare yourself to anyone
Yeah.
else in the gym. Like obviously, every gym's gonna have elite athletes. You're gonna have beginners who've been there a couple of days, but no matter how good someone is, they've all started from the beginning.
Yeah.
So everyone's always been in your shoes where you can't do everything. I remember not being able to do any gymnastics. I could hardly lift. I was just naturally short, but I couldn't get into any sort of good mobility position. So you just got to kind of just keep on working and not get carried away what everyone else is doing around you because they've probably been doing it for years.
Right. And you can then like progress. Like maybe you're using a green band for pull ups for
Yeah,
the first couple months, and then like, okay, now you're using the step down. Like you just gotta kind of compare yourself to yourself. Like you should be motivated to wanna use a smaller band or like build your strength up to whatever it might be.
yeah.
So I love that.
Um, Someone said, God damn you, Oliver, so freaking cute.
Ugh, he is so cute.
In all the attention. Uh,
Come here.
what drives you to work out if you don't have so much motivation? I think that's pretty like a very like personal question, depending on the person. Obviously, our goals would be sort of CrossFit Games, sort of. If it's not that, then it's going to be aim for the Open, or we've always got something that we're going to be working towards.
Right.
But I think that motivational goal is going to come from you. You've got to know what you want out from the training. Whether it might be you just want to get a certain lift, you might want to be able to get a 100 kilo snatch or a clean and jerk or whatever.
Right.
I think you've just got to find out what goals that you want to work towards. I don't think that can come from anyone else. I don't think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We've already kind of covered this, but good for you both over the CrossFit Games. What's next now?
Yeah, I think we.
Pretty much the Open to crush.
Yeah.
Any advice for someone transitioning from bodybuilding to CrossFit? Feel a bit lost.
Hmm.
Uh, I would say a lot of bodybuilders coming into CrossFit will be very. The mobility will be the hardest thing that they'll
I was
face
good with that. Yeah.
because they just don't tend to do much mobility work and the muscles tend to get very tight. So I would definitely say if you spent kind of a good couple of months just focusing on mobility and kind of keeping up your training, but not really focusing too much on your training, try and focus more on the mobility side. I think that'll play a good stead for you going into it. Rower or assault bike?
Assault bike.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It hurts a lot more. Here's a good one for you. Tips on building strength and size, but also keeping speed and endurance. He wants everything.
Seriously. Um, I would say not like neglecting your speed and endurance work, but focusing more on the strength. And
Yeah,
if you're trying to build size, you gotta eat.
yeah. This kind of thing where you want everything, but you've got to work on certain things and then
Right.
kind of bring other things up. It's going to be very hard to try and increase size and strength and then sort of keep your weight down or try and get fast at the same time. You've got to kind of choose one element and then kind of attack that, I would say.
Right.
Just don't aim to rush it because it's not going to be a quick sort of thing. It's nice from Karate Kid. Love meeting you both for Strength and Depth. Legend. What else we got in here? So many random comments.
I know. People are waving. A lot of people are waving.
Yeah. Another one asking for where's Oliver.
Now he's on the
Someone
floor.
says, someone from our gym, Ian, you should definitely invite Kels to come train in the UK. Ian's a big fan of yours.
That would be fun.
Someone's asked you, hi Kelsey. Oh, you've already answered this. What is the hardest workout you've done but would like to do again? Would you do that workout again?
I never want to do that thruster burpee one ever again.
Another one for you. When it's not quarantine time, Corona time, how often do you work out per week?
I would say it would be normally 2 times a day. I do double sessions, an AM and a PM, on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Monday is a rest day. Thursday is like an active something, moving around. And Sunday is a single session.
Nice.
Yeah.
One from Morning Chalk Up. What's one unexpected positive that has happened in your lives during this coronavirus? Ooh. Unexpected positive. I reckon this might go for both of us, but I think it's receiving the amount of support that we've got from the decision from CrossFit. I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I said earlier, like the amount of people that have messaged me and kind of DM'd me just saying how good they are for me and how excited they were to see me at the game.
Yeah. That was a big one for me too. I mean, this whole crazy time has like allowed me to kind of slow down too a little bit. I mean, I'm lucky that my job, like, I can work remotely, so I feel very, very, very blessed that like my work hasn't been affected too much, except for like
That's good.
the in-person coaching classes and stuff. But like able to kind of like slow down with life a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something that you never get to do, isn't it? It's like you never take this time to just be at home, really. What would you guys change if you could go back in time to when you first started CrossFit? I would sort my ankles out because they're still battered. So for me, yeah, I'd definitely I'd rehab and get my ankles sorted and not leave it so long.
Yeah. I don't know what I would change.
How long have you been doing CrossFit for?
I've been doing CrossFit since like 2015-ish.
Okay, yeah, I started in 2015 as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing you could think about if you'd change?
I might focus on my mobility a little bit more to start.
Would you say that's a weakness of yours now, or?
No. I think that I have like a few things that I want to get to improve with that I think will help in other areas, like my T-spine with like certain overhead positions and stuff. But it's actually like during this whole quarantine, I've been stretching all the time. So that's another positive, I guess.
Yeah. Getting more mobile.
Yeah.
Funniest, most embarrassing moment at any competition or event? Funniest. I've got quite a funny one.
Okay, let's hear it.
It was I'm pretty laid back, so even in competition, I'm super laid back and just chilled, and I'm never too serious. And it was the 2018 regionals. So it was the first year I made it to regionals, and it was a massive, like, big thing for me. And I just wanted to go there and enjoy it and not really take it too seriously.
Yeah.
And it was the handstand ring muscle up workout with the pistols. Yeah, so I got the workout wrong. I thought it was you did the handstand, you did the ring muscle ups, handstand walk, do the pistols, and then run back the rings. I didn't know you had to handstand walk back over.
Yeah.
So I was on the starting line. I was standing next to Will Kane, who's another British athlete. And I was like, are you going to run back? Or are you going to walk back? And this was literally like 30 seconds before we're about to start. And he's like, what are you on about? I was like, are you going to walk back and use it as a rest, or are you going to jog? And he's like, dude, you've got a handstand walk back. I was like, what? And then they're like, go. And then we started. And
you're like, oh shoot, okay.
And then Will at the end was like, how did you not know what the workout was? I was like, I just didn't know, dude. Yeah, that's probably one of my funniest moments in competitions.
That's amazing.
What about you? Do you have none that stick out?
None that stick out.
No.
No.
We'll find another question. Just rapidly getting through these.
Yeah.
Someone says, Kels, they love you. JJS Squats.
Hey.
When's the last time either of you had a night out on the Raz?
Is that a British term?
Yeah, that's so that's a British term. Basically, when you let's get drunk?
Oh.
For me, I'm not a big drinker, so probably regionals 2018 is probably the last time I got really drunk in the after party.
I really like my red wine, so for my birthday I had a few glasses, but I wasn't like drunk.
No.
I can't remember the last time I was like really drunk.
Yeah, my mum was to regionals 2018. What CrossFit workout can we do at home to stay in shape? That's Hilton. I've got loads on my Instagram. If you want to just scroll through, there's loads of different variation of body weights, dumbbells, and kettlebell workouts that you should have a look at. What books are you two reading right now during quarantine? I don't read books, so
you don't read?
Not really, no. My attention span is not the best.
I am reading a book called Untamed. I listened to the entire thing on Audible, and then it was so good that I knew I needed to like read it and like highlight and underline and stuff. So I'm on my second time through that book. If you're a female watching this right now, you must read it. The men can read it as well. It's a really, 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 really amazing book. But I'm also reading The Old Man and the Sea, which is like a short novel.
You put me to shame here.
What?
You're putting me to shame here.
I'm just a little bit of a nerd, so.
No,
those
good.
are my books.
Zack, did you used to play rugby for CrossFit? I suppose we can ask if you played any sports for CrossFit as well. Yeah, I used to play rugby to a decent level, and then I played lots of different sports. But yeah, rugby was my main one.
Nice. I played soccer. I played
really?
soccer in college, and then a couple years later, I found CrossFit.
Nice. Did you play to a good level of? You mean football?
I went to a Division III school.
Oh, nice.
I mean, it was like I was okay. It wasn't like a star soccer player or anything.
Yeah. Someone's put, you're head to head with Kels. Which WOD is she going to whoop you at? I could probably think of loads.
That's funny.
I could think of a lot. What sport would you both be doing if you weren't doing CrossFit? I think if I hadn't started, if I could go back in time to when I was maybe 17, I would probably focus on tennis.
Ooh.
Yeah, I used to love playing tennis.
If I was like at this point in my life and I was done competing in CrossFit, so I'd done CrossFit, I would start bodybuilding.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, if I had to go from now,
yeah,
I don't know what I'd do because my ankles couldn't take much else. So I'd just do general. I don't think I'd do a sport.
I don't know what I would do.
No. Yeah, bodybuilding, interesting. Do you take any supplements?
I personally don't really take too many supplements. I'll put a whey protein in a smoothie sometimes.
Yeah.
I like getting everything I need from
food. Yeah. Should we answer 3 more questions? We've still got so many more coming in. It's
I
crazy.
also think, don't we get cut off at an hour?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So here's one for you. Would you consider putting a team together for Mayhem team?
I have gotten this question so many times because obviously my training partner was my teammate in the past. So people have been asking me nonstop about that. I don't know. It would have to be a very special team.
Yeah. How does that work? Did you have to qualify as a team before this all happened, didn't you? Or
they got if you did, you got an automatic invite to Mayhem, but I think he's doing some kind of online qualifier.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting.
I think it's cool, but
yeah. So you would, yeah. If it was a good team, you think you would?
Potentially.
Nice. Right, 2 more questions we're going to answer before we get cut out. What's the most important steps to go from an average athlete to an elite athlete? I think the biggest change for me was when I went full-time athlete and didn't have to worry too much about work. I own a CrossFit gym, and luckily we have really good coaches that take a lot of the coaching pressure off of me, which enabled me to train twice a day and recover in between and not have to work like an 8-hour shift in between trying to get training in. So I think, that was definitely like a big shift for me from kind of taking it to the next level.
Yeah, I think that people think it's it just kind of happen. Like, I don't know if people realize that like we're in the gym or training like a couple hours in the morning, and then we come back and we eat and we mobilize and we recover and we maybe nap and then we go back for another 3 hours. Like, it's not just like an hour and a half to 2 hour thing at once a day kind of deal. And it just takes time. Yeah,
you just got to be patient. It's not like as soon as I started to focus on the full-time athlete, like that was it. Then the next day I was suddenly good. It's still like a year and a half, 2 years of work.
I still don't know shit.
Yeah, exactly, and we're still not amazing. So, someone's asked if you could repeat the book again.
Untamed.
Right.
What's your max back squat?
Oof, I haven't done that in a while. The last time I did it a couple of years ago was 210 kilos. I don't know what that in pounds is. I don't know. But right, the last questions come in. What kind of tools do you use to create a good mindset? I think that's something is very like down to you personally as well. I've always been like very competitive and very driven. And I think just setting goals is probably one of the best things to get a good mindset and keep your motivation.
And you got to surround yourself with the right kind of people. And
100%.
That's huge.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so having a good team around you and setting regular goals that are achievable. But right, so bang on. So we've got about a minute left. Thank you for all the questions, everyone. Guys. Sorry if we didn't get through every one of your questions, but if you message me or Kels, we'll happily answer any questions that you may have.
Cool. This is fun.
Thanks for chatting.
Of course. Enjoy dinner.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
All right, see ya.
Bye, guys.
Bye.